O God in heaven, the wretched diary of Mary Chesnut. Part 5, Subpart A, November 18th, 1860. Nearly everyone is beneath me. This is simple fact, equal to biblical truth. Everyone I know accepts it. Sure, I will grant there are a few senators, their wives, cabinet secretaries, the president and first lady, a handful of capitalists, and a prince or a duke or something I met in passing one time who are at least my equal. Yet it is a very small number indeed of the upper echelon of society that are even worthy of my acknowledgement. Why should I care at all for anyone lesser? I will not even deign to waste space in my capacious brain for those of inferior castes. It is true, I do not bother to know their names unless it is to demand something or bring shame upon them for my own entertainment. And so it was tonight, at a charity ball given with the goal of raising money for our future Confederate military. I found there were far too many lower-class people on the invitation list. Yet in response to my protest, Mr. Chesnut stated it was necessary to enlist the support of everyone to our cause. This lest the aristocracy foot the bill ourselves. Never one to shrink away from shirking my responsibilities upon others, I relented and agreed I should attend. We stood at the door as each couple entered. Mr. Chesnut shook their hands. Can you believe it? The common filth. There were doctors, lawyers, proprietors of every kind, even a tailor. My husband introduced them to me, a thing I had not agreed to beforehand. I can still hear Mr. Chesnut now as I write. Mary, this is so-and-so. Mary, I'd like you to meet what's-his-name. Damn them all. God damn them all. Defiantly, I held my nose high and glared at each of them with contempt. I ignored them, the worthless trash. I kept my mind occupied as they spoke to me by reciting the Ancient Mariner to myself. One of them, the disgusting mayor of some inconsequential hamlet, had the audacity to interrupt me. So very good to meet you, Mrs. Chesnut, he said, offering me his hand, but I refused and looked to the ceiling. All right, he said. He stuttered. Buddy here has told me much about you and... He halted. I'm sorry, are you okay? You sound like you're reciting a poem. I slapped him vengefully and marched directly to the bar. Was there, after some moments of cooling my temper with copious amounts of port wine, that I overheard someone state the following rather queer words to a group of others. This individual stated, "Now that, my friends, is the real McCoy." The real McCoy, I thought to myself. Pondering the words, my heart soon faltered. I grew faint. Desperately, I scanned the sea of people mingling about the hall. Coalesced into innumerable pools of 6 to a dozen or more, it proved impossible to discern even the direction from which the words had come. I dropped my glass as fear gripped me. Supporting myself against the bar, I gasped for breath. The real McCoy? It stood only to reason that if there were an identifiable real McCoy, then there must be at least one man in our midst acting the impostor. But who could it be? Not of one of them could I remember. Having avoided eye contact and distracting myself by reciting poetry aloud, I was at a total loss. My mind raced. Who could McCoy be, and why would his identity be at risk of criminal capture and manipulation? Might an abolitionist assassin have forged papers to gain access to this gathering? Could anyone actually verify if the real McCoy were real, if the fake McCoy were real? Might this yet unknown to me real McCoy have yet unknown to me ulterior motive in actually assisting the counterfeit McCoy? My paralysis of fear soon gave way to action, and I shot forth from the bar. Finding Mr. Chesnut engaged in a lively conversation, I yanked him from his circle of friends. Shit, Mary, you made me drop my sandwich. What is it? Not so loud. My whispers seemed more like a hiss.
Oh, how much you been drinking? You smell drunker than me.
I paid him no mind, barking, "Where is McCoy?"
My who?
McCoy, I stated again. "Where is McCoy?"
Hey, hold on, Mary.
He halted one of the waiters passing by with trays of sandwiches.
Give me one of them, will you? Hey, thanks, man. I dropped that one over there.
He pointed with his shoe as I waited impatiently for the man to go on.
You may want to pick that one up.
As the servant turned away, Mr. Chesnut looked back to me as he bit into the new sandwich.
All right, now, what was it you saying?
Not so loud, we can't let anyone hear. Where's McCoy? Still, Mr. Chesnut looked puzzled. I shook his arm and repeated my urgent query. Where is McCoy? Where is McCoy? I know he's here. Which person or persons is he?
I don't know any McCoy, Mary. I talked to and done shaked everyone's hand that came in here. I don't remember nary one named McCoy.
Mr. Chesnut glanced about us, then turned back to me.
Hey, you feeling all right? You looking all nervous and sweaty.
Think, Mr. Chesnut, think. I waved my arms across the throng of people. One of them is the real McCoy. At least one is a fake McCoy. We must find them and... Just then, a man in a top hat inserted himself between my husband and I, greeting Mr. Chesnut with familiarity. Mr. Chesnut directed the stranger toward me.
Mary, I'd like you to meet...
I stormed away before Mr. Chesnut could finish. Left to my own devices, I determined it best to end the party prematurely and quickly, lest the sinister McCoy gain the upper hand. Cleverly, I turned over a large candelabra into a priceless tapestry, causing the whole of the building to evacuate in the ensuing conflagration and the festivities of the evening to cease. I shall continue my investigation and pursuit of these McCoys on the morrow. Mary Chesnut.